Hello, what is poppin' YouTube fam? We are actually going to do something a little bit different today. We are going to break down some dating profiles, right? So for any ladies watching, this is a nice little sneak peek as to what goes through a man's mind when he sees your profile. And as for guys, this is a nice little introductory as to what you need to spot and what you need to look for and the things you see and what they could potentially mean, this, that, and the third. And yeah, so with that being said, guys, I will not waste any more time. Let's break down these dating profiles. This should be fun. Don't waste my time. See, and this is in capital letters as well. When you see stuff like this, right, as a man, the first thing you're thinking of is things along the lines of, okay, this person either would not be enjoyable or not be fun to be around. They would either be a stick in the mud. They don't know how to lighten up. Maybe they have an attitude. Just things along that line. So things like that can definitely be seen as a red flag. But we're gonna keep going, saying she's looking to seriously date, right? See where it goes. I'm healed, and I need you to match that. Match it, right? She has 2 kids, right? A God-fearing woman. So probably also wants you to attend church and all this stuff, right? Which if you're a God-fearing man, that's fine, right? She wants to be treated like one, so be respectful. Loves anime and shows and movies. Okay, liking anime, it's a nice little bonus, right? Not big on texting at all, right? Pick up the phone and call. And we have another line in all caps. Don't ask to come over to my house, I will say no. And she wants a real relationship that can turn into more dates and going out and spending time. All right. What are the problems here, right? Again, a lot of this comes off as more demanding rather than requesting and asking, right? This definitely paints the picture of somebody who has probably had a lot of guys not take her seriously, and this is almost like a response, as a result, right? It's almost like a little bit of lashing out. And here's the thing, right? You have these demands and all this stuff. She's got 2 kids and all that. That is fine, but what is the problem with this? I will show you. Okay, she is 28 years of age, and from the look of her pictures, she is a heavier set woman, right? If she just had face photos, you could tell by the hands, the face, how full the cheeks are, how round the face is, and all that stuff, right? But at least she shows you her full body pictures, which is fine, right? Now, I'm not going to knock you for asking for what you want, right? Here's the thing. Can you get it, though? Can you get it from the man that you want it from, right? Now, again, I accidentally swiped on this woman, and because I was going over dating profiles and stuff for the video, and yeah, she wasn't even online, and when I did accidentally match with her, she got online immediately and waved at me. So, yeah, I guess that tells you something, right? So clearly, I'm the type of man, physically at least, that she's looking for. Now, I as a man, right? I'm not even really looking for anything serious. Clearly, she is, right? Even if I was looking for something serious, right? Given what I'm looking at, right, and given the fact that she is 28 years old, which isn't that bad, right? 28 isn't terrible. But she also has 2 kids, and she is a heavier set woman with the perceived attitude she has. Oh, hold on. Not to mention, right, you got the fake hair. Clearly, so, this hair is not real. What incentive do I have to roll the dice with this one, right? 2 kids, heavier set, right? When I have a much easier time, right? I've asked better looking women to come over or to come over to my crib, and they have done so, or they have allowed me to come over to their crib, for starters, right? I've dealt with women that are younger, had no kids, in better shape, that are more pleasant, with more pleasant attitudes and whatnot. So I don't really have an incentive to roll the dice with this one when I have a better candidate for what she is looking for, right? If I'm looking for what she's looking for, I'm barking up the wrong tree with this one, right? Because I want to start fresh, right? I want a woman with no kids so I can start a family of my own, for example. And things like that, right? Things of that matter, right? Even if I didn't want kids, right? I still wouldn't choose a woman that didn't have kids because, well, I have to still deal with these kids eventually at some point in time, right? So, and the thing is like, even if, let's say she was down for casual, it based off of her photos, I could be wrong, but based off of the attitude and whatnot, it may even just be more trouble than what it's worth, right? It may just be too much trouble based off the effort that I feel like putting in for a woman that is heavier set, that is 28 years of age with 2 kids. So, am I judging this too harshly? I'm sure I'm not, but I'm just explaining it through the mindset of another man that also has options, right? Now, the thing that she doesn't realize is the type of man that would go for this, like seriously, and actually, go along with this, is probably doing this begrudgingly because they don't really have anyone else better suited that would go for that type of man. And that type of man that would go for this, she will not like that kind of man. She will not respect that man. She's looking for a different type of man, right? Again, case in point, she got online really quickly and waved at me and all that. So yeah, the type of guys that would sign up for this is definitely not her type. All right, next profile we got. I had to swipe about 4 more times to find the next profile. We got a young woman at 26 years old named Daisy. It looks like she's a little Hispanic, and we're swiping through the photos she has to essentially paint a picture of maybe what kind of person she is. And she does, from the looks of things, right? I don't know what kind of restroom that is, but it may be a artsy or a clubbish type of restroom. Okay, there's a skating rink here and whatnot. Okay, so we can tell from this woman's photos and the type of settings that she's in that she is definitely more of the party girl type. Now let's look at her bio. So she says, not looking for anything serious, just looking to network and meet new people. I'm a sucker for good conversations over a beer or 5. New to Texas, so I'm accepting applications for good restaurants to try. And okay. All right. So based off of what I'm seeing here, and of course it does say that she is looking for friends. Now, for a lot of you guys who are more experienced on dating apps would probably see this as an invitation because, she's more open-ended to things. So maybe you have a shot. Trust me, I have definitely had my share of success with women that said they were looking for friends, right? Here's the problem, right? When she says she's looking for people to network and whatnot, and seeing the things she's doing, right? She just off of first glance, again, I could be wrong, off first glance, you can almost kind of see a little princess mentality here. And you can kind of see that, based off her lifestyle, she does also seem like the type of individual that has no problems using people for their resources and what you can provide, right? This does seem like the type of woman that would extract as much out of you as possible without giving the least amount possible on her end, right? Now, I'm not saying she wouldn't still hit, or you wouldn't still be able to hit, but you would have to be, top tier Chad, to be able to hit her, to be able to successfully, land a nice fun night with her, if you know what I mean, right? So if you're not that top tier type chat and you are accepting the networking and the friend position, don't expect anything more from a woman like this. All right, next profile. So starting with the pictures, we got a woman that, okay, has a little bit of a creative side, right? And she's got the word simp in one of her pictures, and you'll see why when you go down to her bio. I did kind of go over it a little bit. This is kind of how I select these dating profiles. Now, her body doesn't look that bad. I think maybe she has a little bit of meat on her bones in terms of the body. You can kind of see with the bosom or the chest, you know, and how proportionate that is to the rest of her body, you know, because typically the bosom kind of reveals the proportions of the rest of her body type, you know what I mean? And you can kind of almost see in the face and the cheeks and whatnot. Now, all right, so okay, she's a little quirky. You can kind of see that in the photos. Okay, in the first photo, she looks a little bored. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at her summary, right? She says, don't know, just kind of here. I play bass. Guess I like food, horror movies, and I can curse you out in Spanish, papi. So, you know, it is her attempt at having a little bit of banter. Now, looking up top, it doesn't look like she has kids, and it looks like she, again, another person looking for friends, right? You may have a little bit of a better shot with actually taking her to town with this one versus the last one. But peep down below, right? If you swipe right, you will automatically my little puppy dog, essentially. If you're not ready to get on your knees for me, then just go left. So, you know, there's a reason why the word simp is in her one of her pictures, because from the profile, that is kind of what she's looking for. Whether or not that is actually the case or not is still left to be determined. So who really knows? But anyway, you don't have a chance if you don't work full-time, or is not a full-time student, do drugs, are into polygamy, has no goals, are a comfortist, and has kids. Yeah. Let's just say, if you're really trying to look to be like a dom, like, you know, this almost seems like some dom sub type stuff, right? If you're really into the humiliation, then cool, that's fine. You are more than welcome to go down that road. However, if you A, have self-respect, or B, if you're trying to hit pretty quickly, based on the bio and based on these pictures, I'm sure there's been plenty of dudes that have simped for her as a result of these pictures. The trouble that you're gonna have to go through to get with this woman is definitely going to be more trouble than what it's worth. All right, we got our fourth and final profile. Okay, so looking at the pictures, she might be a heavier set woman. However, that may also not be the case, because you can see her fingers and how skinny they are, right? She's got really skinny fingers and whatnot. So, but the reason why I think she might be a heavier set is because if you look at all these photos, you are not seeing a full body picture, right? However, context clues, right? You can see her face in terms of how full the face is and the cheeks, right? The cheeks are a little bit full and puffed out, you know what I mean? So when you see that, the rounder the face, the bigger they typically are. Now again, the fingers, now this may be a photo when she was a little bit thinner, but again, she is not showing full body, right? It's typically face down to her upper chest when you don't get to see the bosom, right? You don't get to see the tits at all, because I know tits is it's a pretty big indicator as to how the size of the rest of her body, based on how big the tits are, how full the face are, again, how big the hands are and whatnot. So the fact that she is hiding the rest of her body and you see a bigger face, that kind of tells you what you need to know here, right? So for you guys that are wondering if you should swipe, because I know a lot of guys typically get bamboozled by girls that have nothing but face photos essentially on their profile, and they can't tell how big she really is. Well, these are kind of indicators, so I just kind of definitely gave out this profile as an example of what to look for. Alrighty, that is all the dating profiles for me on this round. All right, let me know if you guys want another round of dating profiles. I rather enjoyed it. There's a lot that you can pick apart and a lot of things that you can kind of pick out and learn from. You know what I mean? So with that being said, guys, I'm out. This is JMU, and we're signing off.